Welcome everybody. In this live stream session, we are going to explore two fundamental aspects of your life. And the one is recognizing your purpose, and the other is embracing your uniqueness. Now, the emphasis is on recognizing here and not finding your purpose. And if you've ever wondered about the meaning of your life, yearn for a different life, or feel like something is missing, then please stay tuned, as we are going to discuss topics like being in the present moment, the perception of ourselves, the psychology of self-sabotage, and how to create a new reality, amongst very other nice and juicy topics. So stick around to the end, as we will also provide you a unique recipe to recognize your purpose and involve inner peace. Right, so if you are joining us in this live stream, we would like to welcome you, and we would also like to say that with whatever we share today, if this message resonates with you, we would love for you to contribute and consider that this adds value to you. Then please contribute. And then I'm going to jump right in and bring our speaker and co-host for this live stream, Emmanuel, onto the stage. There we go. Welcome, Emmanuel.
Hello, Linda, and thank you for inviting me on today.
Absolute pleasure. Right, so Emmanuel, would you like to set the scene, and then we can take it from there?
Yes, let me set the scene. Linda, let me welcome all the viewers. And by now we know customary, we have viewers on the live stream, and we also have viewers on the replay of the live stream. Linda, what I would like you to do is just to put up the agenda just before I start, and I'm going to ask you to add the agenda, I think 5 or 6 times. If you have it ready, that would be super. Otherwise, I'm just going to jump in. Okay, let me jump in, and then Linda is going to find it and place it at some point. So why recognize your purpose? Here are some thoughts. Does your life have meaning? These may be questions or thoughts that you have had. I certainly had them. Do you yearn for a different life? Now, my life started, this journey of mine started a long time ago. And the first thing that I asked was, what is the meaning of my life? I was not a happy chappy in just getting up every morning and going to a job and then coming home and repeating the same thing and getting into, now I need to buy this piece of furniture, or I need to buy this piece of clothing, or I need to buy this dwelling now. So that whole cycle was not meaningful to me. It held no value. It was just stuff that I did, and the bigger picture meaning was missing. So the question there is, does your life have meaning? That then later on morphed into a different topic which says, I yearned for a different life. I caught myself constantly yearning for a different life. And of course, when something exciting was happening, the yearning was gone. But once the exciting thing disappeared, the yearning was back. I also had the other thinking, which was something felt missing. And also, uh, from time to time, when excitement was not there to keep me busy, of course, I got bored. I got bored stiff often. If you take that a step further, I didn't realize at the time that my life is as unique to me as my fingerprint. And of course, all our lives are unique to us as our fingerprints are unique to us. So it's not a matter of this whole thing about getting up, getting ready, going to work, um, coming home, and repeat that same thing. Those are things that we do, but it carries no meaning. It's just stuff. Now, those stuff that we do, the different things that we do in our life, would still be there, and it is important that we embrace the meaning. And then, of course, we would still do things, but for a different reason. Now, are you living your uniqueness? If the answer to that is no, then of course we are going to address that today. Then, if we take it a little bit further, creating the perfect balance between mind and body is the path of your unique life, is the path of your unique life. And consequent to that, uh, you evolve in a peace. So that is the conclusion of this section. Linda, please add that agenda again so that we can show the bigger picture. There we are. The points that we are going to cover today is why recognize your purpose, and we would cover some topics. Then why recognize your uniqueness, as I said a few minutes ago, our uniqueness, our lives would be as unique as our fingerprints, but it needs that we have a look at it and step out of the concept of that we are here to make money. That is not what it's about. And then why live a life of meaning, we're going to cover. How to shift to a life of meaning. So, what this talk is going to be about is as we proceed and as we pursue certain things, we are going to shift to a life of meaning. And the next thing that we are also going to look at is Peace Evolution's recipe. Now, the outcome of Peace Evolution's recipe from the name Peace Evolution is that we evolve in a peace. So the end result is we are doing things with our lives that's unique to us as our fingerprints. The outcome of that is that we evolve in a peace. And then we are going to go to a section that we put together where we say, well, how do we recognize? How do you recognize your purpose? So we are going to cover those 6 things systematically. I have covered why recognize your purpose, and consequent to this, we are also going to have a look at, well, how do you recognize your purpose? Without knowing how to recognize your purpose, you are not going to be able to achieve that. So thank you very much, Linda. We are now in the second point of the discussion. Oh, before I jump into the second point, Linda, any questions or comments from your side? Or shall I just jump in and continue?
Nothing from my side at this stage. Thank you, Monyo. You can
Thank you,
continue.
thank you, Linda. So, why recognize your uniqueness? So, Linda, would you please bring Pierre into the studio? So, Pierre is our resident research artist, not an artist, but he's our research expert. And what Pierre does is he looks for what people are asking for, um, in terms of their own lives. What are the things that's uppermost in their mind? And I'm going to share that with you all in a moment. So, Pierre, thank you for your contribution. And you are representing all of humanity here with us today, in
Hmm.
terms of what it is that they are looking for. So, Pierre, just tell us, is this a easy or a fun thing, or is this quite sometimes scratching your head? How do you feel about researching what people are looking for?
Yes, it's a very interesting subject, and to see what people are looking for is very interesting, if I can put it that way. And
Okay.
also the trends that's going on, and the shift in focus. I think we as humanity is on the brink of making a massive shift in a new direction. I feel it's very much necessary as well, and I think we are slowly but surely starting to recognize that within ourselves, and to know that we need to be better to ourselves and to everybody around us, and obviously to the planet. And this is definitely very, very interesting times. I would say uncharted. We are in a very peculiar spot, but we have the resilience, and we as humanity, we will push through, and we will make this work. We have no choice.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Pierre. And I'm guessing, Pierre, there's some reward in doing the research for us.
Yes, no, definitely. To be able to identify what people are looking for and what people are searching for. And so we have the recipe for evolving inner peace. And that is definitely detriment, or that's definitely so important, to have that inner peace, because when you have inner peace, it reflects on the external as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very important subject that we are covering here today. And this will definitely gain traction going forward. And we need to start looking within ourselves, and not focus so much on the external, because inner peace will evolve outer peace automatically.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Pierre. Pierre, I notice that your voice and your mouth is not synchronized. Maybe you just want to look at those settings, but
I will
nevertheless,
do.
thank you for your contribution. And I'm
Okay.
now going to jump in with the second part as we indicated on the agenda. Thank you, Pierre. So, this is what Pierre found that people are asking: living in the present moment. So, we are going to slowly build this case, and we are going to uh, um, provide the information about living in the present moment. I think that is a topic that is understood in a variety of ways. We also did a video sometime back about the how we perpetuate feeling unworthy. Now, by by seeing that firsthand in that video, how we went through the discussion and how we perpetuate that, and we talk in that video of a first choice self and a second choice self. Now, when we transition from the second choice self to the first choice self, the living in the present moment is an automatic thing. It's not something that I need to consciously say, how do I live in the present moment? What should I do? Let me make some notes. It's an automatic thing. So that's living in the present moment. And then also, people are asking about living a sense, living with a sense of ease. And it comes down to the same thing. Um, Linda, if you could, this is short notice, but if you could find that video image about the self-perpetuating unworthy topic, not easy. Okay, thank you. Linda indicated not easy, not easy. Okay, so living with a sense of ease is all part and parcel of living our uniqueness. Another thing that people ask about is, or statements that people hear about, is never give up. And we can tell you here at Peace Evolution is as we navigate this path to spread our message and to be true to our lives and to live our uniqueness, it is truly a matter of never giving up. There are, of course, um, instances where we do need to give up. A little bit later, we're going to cover the book that I authored many years ago, Life Can Be Different Conception. And in that book, I do cover that just persisting and just persisting. And I want to use this example very loosely, and knocking your head against a brick wall and knocking your head against a brick wall. At some point, you've got to say, wait, to pursue that particular thing, I need to now stop. And I give some examples in the book. The never giving up does not include, oh, wait, let me just divert my path a little bit this way, a little bit that way, a little bit that way. So the idea is never give up. Then perceptions of ourselves. We have perceptions that we believe in, even to the extent of, look at that interesting image that's on the screen there. We have perceptions of ourselves, and one of the biggest perceptions we have is a figment of our imagination. And we need to get beyond the figment of our imagination. People ask about self-development. How do they self-develop? So there, I would like to make the statement, there is no such thing as self-development. There is understanding the figment of our imagination that we create for ourselves, and then getting to a point where we say, I've got the courage, I've got the conviction, I've got the honesty, I'm now stepping away from that. And in that one stepping away from it, you do maximum self development in a moment. Self empowerment in the same way. As we get in touch with our first choice self, we just get a glimpse of it, where we recognize our purpose. That is self-empowerment. That is also self-growth. It's not a matter of a continuous thing. It's not a matter of a continuous thing. It's a matter of making a step change from a second choice self life to a first choice self life, and the growth just flows out of that. Then there is also the self-sabotaging behavior. That same video that I was mentioning a little bit earlier, I forget the name of it now. I think it is how we perpetuate the belief of unworthiness, something like that. Just maybe we can look it up and show it on the screen in a moment. So that is how we self-sabotage. We keep ourselves out of our lives because of a belief that is a figment of our imagination. And there, in that moment, also, as you can see, the spiritual awakening, in that moment of that recognition, in that moment of that step change, is where we also awaken our spiritualness, our spiritual beingness. It's a matter of, as we recognize that, the first choice self and the second choice self, that we are able to make that step change. And in that moment, things start falling into place. And of course, the idea is also stop running away from yourself. There's no need to run away, but we do run away. And that video that I keep on referring to, which at some point maybe we show on the screen, or just the name of it, is about stop running away from yourself. Then there is the psychology of self-sabotage, which is, again, we are living the self-belief, which is a figment of our imagination, and as a result of that, we are never living our first choice life. Then we are going to also talk a little bit about what is my purpose. I'm going to just let the cat out of the bag for a moment. Our purpose is locked away in our daydreams. We create our daydreams, and through our daydreams, we go into a place where we would rather be than the place where we are at. And of course, that's our daydream. But 99.999% of the time, we don't quite see the undercurrent of our daydreams. And in the book that I referred to a little bit earlier, there is also my own daydream, how I uncovered the undercurrent of that daydream, which locked away my purpose. And once I saw that, I was able to then recognize my purpose and then live that. So here, look at this one. When you feel not good enough, and here is a very similar one, when you feel not good enough, different spelling of the same concept. And that is what we refer to here at Peace Evolution. Combined with that figment of our imagination, we refer to it here as factor X. Then why you never feel good enough, also locked away in our uniqueness, also locked away in the sense that if we are living based on a figment of our imagination, we are not able to recognize ourself. And through this recipe of peace evolution, you are able to recognize yourself and also why you never feel good enough. And we can replace that good enough with feeling a failure, with feeling unworthy, with feeling I'm a nobody, with feeling there's no space for me here. Then there's another thing that people ask for, and that is you must become a master of your mind. Now, I did not subscribe to that as I was on my journey. That was like taking me and teaching me new tricks in a sense of now bringing meaning through those new tricks. But I saw that that was treating the symptom. Here we only address the root cause, and we are going to share the root cause with you. Then if we take it a little bit further, I want to reprogram. Look at that. You must learn how to reprogram your thoughts. Now, that is not what it's about. You need to unlearn everything, walk away from a belief that we have about ourselves, make the step change completely away from it, that it doesn't serve us. And that is far different from you must learn how to reprogram your thoughts. Very, very different. Now, I've come to the end of this section, and I'm going to ask for the putting up the agenda again so that we look at the second part. The third, we're already on the third part. So I'd like to ask Linda, do you have any thoughts to share or questions to ask?
Yes, Emmanuel. There was some time back that you gave me a beautiful analogy, I can't exactly remember, about growth. You said it's not about growing, it's about uncovering what's already there. And since we are not here to find our purpose but to recognize it, we are therefore saying we're not looking externally, but we are uncovering what's already there. So I can't remember what analogy you gave. It was quite beautiful. Can you remember, Emmanuel?
Linda, I can't remember the exact words, of course, but let me just frame it in a way. So it's not really for us to learn anything. It's not for us to grow. It's for us to recognize that what we are already. And by recognizing that, we then also are able to instantaneously stop a self-belief that we have. And I'm going to just quickly put that video's name on the screen. How we perpetuate the belief that we are unworthy. Now, in that video, we discuss the dynamics that answers each and every question that I have been asking here from the research that Pia did. Linda, so I quickly jumped to that. Did I answer your question though?
100%.
Okay. Anything else?
No?
Okay, then let's start again with the agenda. Thank you. So we are now going into the third one, why live a life of meaning? There we are, why live a life of meaning? And if there's nothing else, I'm going to start about that. And this is another thing that people ask about, a fresh new you. Now, in that video where I added the title of a few minutes ago, in that video we cover why is it necessary that we ask about a fresh new you and how we perpetuate not knowing that for ourselves. And the other thing that people are asking about, look at that. Am I lazy or burnt out? Let me tell you about lazy. There is no such thing as lazy. The thing about lazy is you are probably, I would like to use those words, otherwise interested. So each time I hear the word lazy, I equate it to otherwise interested. In that moment, I'm otherwise interested. And we need to find and recognize the exact reason why we are otherwise interested And we then feel, or people say, oh, you are just lazy, or I am just lazy. The other point is, am I lazy or depressed? Now, these are all locked up in us living our unique life as our fingerprint. Let's look at this one. Believe in your dream again. Now, at Peace Evolution, we are going to, part of what we do is to assist you to understand the undercurrent of your daydream. And each and every one of your daydreams has locked away an undercurrent, and that undercurrent boils down to the very same thing each and every time. But there is a way to look at it that we see it for what it is without our frame of reference, without us wanting to first spin it in some way, without us having a facade up. That is, believe in your daydream again. Believe in yourself more. So please recognize that at Peace Evolution, all of these things is treating the symptom. We are going to assist you to address the root cause of why you need to say, believe in yourself more, or that you would go for codependency healing. So let me give an example. Let's say I'm a smoker. Now I'm going to stop smoking. I get it right to stop smoking for a bit, but now instead of having a cigarette, I maybe have a sweet. I'm just giving an example. It could be something different. But now I replace that having the cigarette with a sweet. Now, the idea is not to replace a habit with another habit. It's just to get rid of it, but to find the root cause of why we have that habit. And look at what it says there, codependency healing. Oh, and coping mechanisms. In the video that I showed the name of a little bit earlier, we also talk of the coping mechanisms because we are not living the life as unique to us as the fingerprint. And then we need coping mechanisms. Let's have a look at, do affirmations really work? Now, I want to stick my neck out and say affirmations is about treating the symptom. Now, if you have nothing else and you don't know the material that we discuss here today, and you have nothing else, then I would like to say things like meditating, things like affirmations really do work, but from this vantage point, it assists you to quiet your mind. And in our busy, hectic lives, any time that we are able to quiet our minds is to our benefit. But it is only that the idea is to go beyond that and find the root cause, which is simplistically put the fact that we are not living our lives as unique to us as our fingerprints. Now, embrace your healing journey. Now, what does that mean? So, assuming that I'm treating the symptom by doing this course, by going for those sessions, by doing meditating, by listening to calming music, etc. If we put all those things together, you could say, oh yes, I am on a healing journey. But you do see that if you don't address the root cause of why I need all those things, I'm just going to have to continue doing that, which means, again, I'm not in my life. And that is something that we address here at Peace Evolution to assist you to recognize your own life as unique to you as your fingerprint. Sure, I say that a lot. Okay, then there is also healing codependency. The same thing, you heal, but it creates a different codependency. How to achieve your goals. Now, you could now read a book or learn about positive thinking. You could make a plan, and you could then use that plan, and you would certainly achieve your goals. Now, achieving my goal means the goal is something smaller than what I am. The goal is something like, oh, I need to find accommodation. The goal is, oh, I need to plan a holiday. It is something smaller than us. It's just us being busy doing stuff. And we are going to talk a little bit later on about a vision. Now, a vision is always bigger than us. We are unable to achieve it. And when we say we're living a life as unique to us as our fingerprint, we are living the vision. Let me give an example. Here at Peace Evolution, we say, let's evolve in a peace, starting with us, and as Piers said a little while ago, and evolving that externally with humanity. Now, in my lifetime, I can't achieve that, even if I want to. And that's what I mean by a vision is bigger than us. A goal is saying, oh, we're going to have this live stream today. We better prepare well for this live stream. We need to do this, we need to do this, we need to do that. And so we have the live stream, and that's a whole set of steps in us then achieving goals towards a vision. Now, the moment we go and we recognize our purpose and our life that's unique to us as our fingerprints, that is a vision. It's not something that we are able to achieve. Now you are going to say, but why would I want to be here if I'm not able to achieve it? That is not how nature works. Nature says, and if you look at nature, it's continuously evolving. It just evolves. Every day is the sun comes up, the sun goes down, whatever the weather pattern is, it repeats. Then the seasons change, but the principle is it's always evolving. There's no beginning and there's no end. So here is nature and life. Here we are born, and just as a blip, it just goes blip. And that is the whole life of 80 years, 100 years, 60 years, 40 years, 120 years. And it just went blip. However, in that blip, just maybe it's possible for me in my own vision and here at Peace Evolution for everyone here who has their own vision and living their own vision, they are then able to contribute in the smallest possible way to evolving in a peace with humanity. It's not possible in our lifetime. So that's the difference between how to achieve a goal. Now, if you don't have a vision, your goals are chores. Oh no, now I again have to do this. Oh no, now I again have to do this. No, no, no. Once you're living your vision, all the things that you do contributes to that vision, and it's not a chore, and it's as automatic as breathing. How to be happier in life. Okay, So when you are doing the life without meaning and every day is just another day, which is a cycle on itself, and it is about earning money to do this, to do that, to do this, to do that. And you might even think, like I thought at some point, I need to have lots of money so that I could do anything I wanted to do. All of that is a fallacy. And I, fortunately for myself, saw the fallacy, made a step change, and said, oh, wait, all I need money for is to pay the bills. However, if I'm living my dream, if I'm living my purpose, I am automatically happier in life. But now it works like this. I don't do things to be happy. I do things because I'm happy. Big difference. Big difference. Look at that one that people ask about. How to be happy in life. Very similar to the previous one. How to be happy in life. Then there's another one. How to become successful. What do you want to be successful for? The best success you could have is living your purpose, bringing your meaning to your life and living that meaning day by day. That is pure success. How to change your life. Oh, we've got the recipe. Wait a little bit. How to change your life. How to change your mindset. We are going to look at that momentarily. How to change your mindset. How to create a new reality. Yes, your reality, our reality is locked up. And I have to just show that again. Where is it? Where is it? It's gone now for a moment. Then there's another one people ask about, how to create reality with your mind. Now, in a different way, as you recognize your purpose and you have the courage and the brutal honesty to take the necessary step to take up your purpose, that is truly creating a reality that is in your mind, but it's the ultimate one, which you have been hiding from yourself through the figment of your imagination. And if you want to know more about that, have a look at the video that I put the name up a minute ago. Now, I don't know where I put that name. Nevertheless, that is where you are going to see how you have hidden yourself in your subconscious. That brings us to the end of this section. So I'm going to invite Linde into the studio. And Linde, I just want to, for a moment, bring this point. Just one moment. This point that it goes like this. If the content resonates with you, consider liking, subscribing, sharing, ringing the notification bell to get notified, and commenting even if you disagree. Even if you disagree. And then I would like to take it another step further. Again, if our message resonates with you, consider supporting our channel with super thanks. And thank you for that. Linde, so that is the end of this section. Oh, there we are. Look at that. Linde, let's have a look. Oh, look at that. Super thanks. Muchly appreciated. All right.
Pleasure.
So, Linde, that concludes that session. Any questions? Any comments? I'm getting carried away. I'm certain you are able to see I'm getting carried away here with these very interesting questions people ask.
No, it's lovely. Emmanuel, I just want to mention the video that you referred to, why we self-perpetuate our unworthiness. The the video's name is, I got it. Let me just get it up here.
Thank you. Thank you.
How to bring your meaning instead of doing things to find your meaning. So that's where we discussed that specific topic. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. There we are. Thank you for bringing that.
Yes, and then I have a question. So I want to go back to the affirmations that you spoke about. So let's say I have an affirmation that says, I am worthy and deserving of love and happiness. So let's just quickly unpack that. I'll bring it up in the comments for you that you can just see.
Thank you.
So we can say that to ourselves, but as you mentioned, we're not really addressing the root cause of that belief. So there are ways to address the root cause instead of just treating the symptom, and we are going to speak about that recipe soon.
Soon.
So, soon. Just want to mention that. Okay.
Thank you.
Right. Nothing else to add? We can continue.
Thank you, Linda. Please just show the agenda again. So we covered now, as far as I recall, we covered up to, let me just make sure that I've not fallen off the bus. Yes. Right. We are going to now continue from point 4 onwards, how to shift to a life of meaning. And the questions that we notice is how to feel your emotion. Now, this reminds me now when I started my journey, and often when I speak to people, I say to them, please share with me what's in your mind. And 9 times out of 10, they would say nothing. Or they would be panicking about something, and I would ask them, well, what is the undercurrent? What's going on in your mind? What is causing the panic? No, there's nothing in my mind. Now, when I started out, I also would have said, oh, no, there's nothing in my mind. And for me to be able to understand my mind, I did the following. So imagine this now. I'm going to the movie in the days when, and you could do this in your lounge when you're watching TV and you're watching a movie or any program. I would go and watch the movie, but I then found that I was watching the people watching the movie. Now look at that as a concept. I then later on started watching my life as if it was a movie, and I was detaching myself from myself to watch myself. And I eventually got to that, and I would like to use the words very loosely. I perfected that almost as an art. Now, in the book, Life Can Be Different Conception, I speak about that, how I was able to eventually slow my mind down. So there's the book on the screen, Life Can Be Different Conception. So what I trained myself to do so that I could figure out what was going on in my mind is I was able to slow it down and slow it down and slow it down so that I could catch the thoughts running in my mind, each and every thought. And let me say, if we take a movie, you get in the footage, you have a frame, then you have another frame, then you have another frame, then you have another frame. But what I found was that each frame could consist of a whole movie in that frame. Now, when I was looking at my daydream, for instance, which was a frame, or let's say 3 frames, when I looked at it and I dissected, it was a whole movie. In fact, it was several movies in 1 or 2 frames. Now, the idea is to slow your mind down enough. It is so busy to slow our minds down enough so that we see the root cause, the reason of the emotion that we are feeling. Now, usually our minds are so active and so busy, and we keep ourselves busy as a coping mechanism. We keep ourselves busy as a survival mechanism, and therefore we don't necessarily feel our emotions. I have asked people, and they would say they're not emotional at all. Now, I know that's not possible. The long and the short of the story is we are able to slow our minds down to feel what we are feeling. Let's look at this one. How to find happiness. We had something very similar. It's not a matter of finding happiness, it's about finding ourselves and then having the courage to live our life. If we take that further, how to find inner peace, that's what we're about here, how to evolve inner peace. So at Peace Evolution, our recipe is about evolving inner peace. Here the person asked how to find inner peace. Another question, how to find joy in the chaos. Yes, everything around us is certainly chaos. And though there are interesting patterns within that chaos, and there is joy in it, the thing is we need the courage and the brutal honesty to recognize that. Here's another one, how to find your purpose. So we talk at Peace Evolution, we talk about recognizing our purpose. Now, this particular these people asked how to find your purpose. And we are going to show our recipe momentarily, and then how to get your life together. So, of course, by living our life as our second choice self based on a figment of our imagination, our life can't be together. Because in that life that we are living, there's only one thing at play, and that is that we want to disprove, as we mentioned that point a little bit earlier, that let's say for you, your reality is, I feel unworthy, I feel a failure, I feel a nobody, I feel not good enough. So all of those different things creates a life that we are not together, so to speak. It's just a matter of things are not going, we are not part of our life, and therefore this, these people are asking how to get your life together. We certainly have that recipe here. How to heal yourself. So there are 2 parts. The one is to heal yourself in the sense of recognizing your purpose and then step changing to live your purpose. There is also the other thing that your body might not be healthy. And that's also something we cover here at Peace Evolution. Now look at this one. How do you know how to know if you are in the right career? Let me share a story of my own life. how to know if you are in the right career. So I walked along my life down very many paths, and then I found a career in which I thought, whoa, this is exactly for me. There's nothing else like it. I've never experienced anything like that. That lasted for roughly 15 years. And then I was back in what is the meaning? I'm yearning for a different life. Something feels missing. So it's not about a career. It's about us living our life as unique to us as our fingerprint. Look at this one. How to know if you are on your right path, on the right path. If you want to know that and you are truly serious about that and you have the courage and you have the brutal honesty, this is where you're going to find that undoubtedly. Look at this one. How do you know if you're on the right path? Just different spelling. Here is another one. How to reprogram your thoughts. We had a similar one earlier on. How to reprogram your thoughts. How to stop being controlled. So this could be, this is an interesting one. I could be in a situation at work. I could be in a situation at work, at home. I could be in a family situation where I'm being controlled. However, with every breath that we take, if we are not living our unique life, we are controlling ourselves to the detriment of ourselves. That is a big where we control ourselves. And that is something we need to shake. And here we have the recipe. How to stop being insecure, the thoughts that I spoke about just now. I feel a failure. I feel not good enough. I feel a nobody. I feel there's no space for me here. I feel that any of those things is all about insecurity. How to stop being insecure. We have the recipe here. Human growth and development. We spoke about this a little bit earlier. You only need to recognize your purpose, recognize your own uniqueness as unique to you as your fingerprint, and you are going to instantaneously grow and develop. So, human growth and development. Importance of self belief. The self belief starts with the courage and the honesty to recognize your second choice life, your second choice self, to recognize your first choice self, and then to take the step change. Is this going to be an inspirational video? If you have the courage and the brutal honesty, this is certainly going to be an inspirational video. If you are looking for a quick fix, something to treat the symptom, this is not going to be an inspirational video. Life advice for young people. So, of course, at what stage could you start with this? My journey started at the age of 23, and it took me many, many, many paths and different things to explore until I found the root cause of why I felt that my life didn't have meaning. So you don't have to live decades and decades. Here we are going to fast track that for you with our recipe. And again, we came to the end of this section, and we have two more sections to go. And Linde, anything from your side that you want to ask or tell about?
No, Emmanuel, I'm just very excited to get to our recipe because all of the things that you spoke about now is how we're going to address it. So,
Okay.
looking forward to that.
Right. So let's have a look at the agenda again. Thank you. Whoops. Then we are now going to look at section 5. Peace Evolution's recipe. So we're now laying the groundwork, and let us move on then. Thank you. So the Peace Evolution recipe is base your life on liking what you do. Not finding money, not making money, liking what you do. How do you recognize liking what you do? We're close, we're very close. It starts with recognizing your uniqueness as unique to you as your fingerprint. And the next step is you recognize your purpose. As part of this, recognizing, liking what you do, your uniqueness, and you recognize your purpose, that's all wrapped up in the same thing. And also to recognize you are the source of your life. Money is not the source of your life. You are the source of your life. You still need to earn money. And from that money, you are going to pay the bills. But it's not the primary reason for your life. Part of this, I spoke about this earlier on, where it is then part and parcel where you craft your vision, you live your unique life, nothing feels missing. So it started off with, I'm just going to go back there, it started off with base your life on liking what you do. We are now at the point of nothing feels missing in your life. You stop yearning for a different life, and you live a life of meaning, and you balance your lifestyle and liking what you do. But what has changed now? One small thing, one very small thing, by recognizing your uniqueness, and with you having the courage of making the step change to that uniqueness, each and every one of us is totally and utterly unique from everyone else. Now, once you live that, you are present in your life. And that is addressing the root cause. Linda, that was the end of section 5, Peace Evolution's recipe. So it feels that I went very quickly over that. Are there any questions from you, from anybody else?
Yes, Emmanuel, perhaps we can just look at an example, perhaps one that we mentioned previously. Let's use the one about control, not wanting to be controlled. So if we now apply the Peace Evolution recipe to that, let's go through the steps. How would this look?
Okay. So let us just say that the control comes in one of these three things. Either by someone else, a family member, a partner, a job, something external to us controls us. Then the figment of our imagination controls us, where we feel the figment of our imagination, which I mentioned a little bit earlier, is about not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy, feeling insecure, etc. All of those things together would be the second thing, how we control ourselves. And now, by doing the addressing the symptom, by addressing the root cause, and stop with addressing and treating symptoms, by addressing the root cause, we then put ourselves in a position to move away from that with one simple, single decision. And that decision is, I'm not going to let the figment of my imagination, which I created through the circumstances, which means I was a product or am a product of my circumstances. I believe that is factual, but it is not. Then having the courage and the honesty and making the step change away from it, then nobody controls. We don't even control ourselves. We are then able to live our life through our purpose, through our vision, bringing to whatever we do the value that we are the source of. I mentioned a little bit earlier the uniqueness, that we are the source of it. We then wrap all of that and we live where we are present in our lives. Nobody else controls us, not even the figment of our imagination. And Linde, that is the two areas of control, and then how to break free from that by making that step change and saying, oh, but this doesn't serve me anymore. I see how I created it. This doesn't serve me anymore. And I then go into a life of living my meaning.
Mm-hmm.
Linda, is that what you were after?
Yes, definitely. So it's like we could be walking around with this thing inside of us. Like you said, it's just a figment of our imagination. So we might feel that we're not worthy. And what's happening is that automatically we let others control us, or let that feeling of unworthiness control us. But the moment we recognize that we are the source of our lives, then we see that we've just made up this thing, and we can then address the root cause and start living our meaning.
Yeah. So Linde, we could say all of that if we want to say collectively circumstances. Even me living my second choice life means I submitted to the circumstances. So I could say all of the stuff about control is about circumstances. And I then say, oh, wait, I don't want to be a product of my circumstances. I just want to be me. However, huge courage, huge honesty.
Yes, that's a big one.
Yeah.
The courage and the brutal honesty
Yeah.
to see that.
And yes, and let me liken it to something in a light-hearted way. I want to use an example I previously used. Let's say I'm a race car driver, a Formula One race car driver, and I am learning from other race car drivers that I need to brake exactly at the right time. If I brake too early, I slow myself down. If I brake too late, I am probably not going to make the corner. So I just need to get it exactly right. Now, if I liken that to recognizing that moment when it is exactly right, is what we are talking about. So we put into a pot and we stir it and we say, this is all about circumstances, and the circumstances is what my life is about. And then I get to know that and I see the symptoms of it. It's like breaking too late or breaking too early. or I get it. I just get it like that. Oh, I need to break here. In the same way, it's now time for me to break away. Interesting choice of words. It's now time for me to make the step change and say, no more. And I make the step change. But it's nothing different to when I'm learning to be a salesman, to know when and how to close a deal. It's nothing different to being a race car driver and knowing when to stop. It's nothing different to that I am learning something new and I don't know yet quite how to do something, and then seeing it, and then I'm there. Now, in this case, the thing is that handbook that everybody says that humans don't have. Once you see the handbook that has been controlling your life, you're then able to say, no, I don't want that handbook anymore. But in that same moment, you would also see the other handbook. And that other handbook is purpose. And so I gave some light-hearted but tricky. I mean, can you imagine if you're a race car driver, Formula One, like, and you brake too late or too early? It's chaos. But it was just to bring a different dimension to this topic that could be very heavy. And Linde, as I said before on other videos, how you assisted me to bring this heavy topic into a lightness. Now that we're even comparing it to race car driving, but it's got nothing to do with race car driving.
No, those are good analogies. Thank you for sharing, Emmanuel.
Righty.
Okay, we can move on to the next. Let me just add our agenda again.
Okay. Right. So we went through point number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The peace evolution recipe that was laying the groundwork for it. Now, exactly how peace evolution could assist you in addressing the root cause. So let's have a look at those. So the first thing here is we say, how do you recognize your purpose? Now, this is very specific. So here at YouTube, we have several videos all covering different topics in a different way around recognizing your purpose. We are also putting together a playlist where we are going to show you a collection where you could, if you work through those videos, you could quite easily look at the different dynamics at play and consequent to that, recognize your purpose. You could also purchase the ebook that I was referring to. There it is, Life Can Be Different Conception. It has lots of material around this topic. It is a reflection of my journey and the honesty and the courage I needed to have to be able to walk my journey. Then within YouTube, we created membership. It consists of 4 levels, taking you all the way through building on the case. Level 1 is the start of it. Level 2 is, for instance, to find and to show and to reflect and facilitate how we hold on to that we feel we are not good enough, we are a failure, we are I'm a nobody, I'm a failure, I'm not good enough, there's no space for me, any one of those things. We cover that in the membership. The third thing in the membership is we cover how in our daydreams we lock away through the undercurrent of our daydreams our purpose. And then furthermore, the fourth part is where we then say, okay, if all of this is now at play and we are not focused primarily on making money, we are now showing how to balance making money and liking what we do. So those are the 4 membership levels, and that would be another way. And what it does, there we say, it's to recognize your purpose, up to balance making money. And wait a minute, Emmanuel. And I dropped the ball. I dropped the ball. There we are. Balancing making money and liking what you do. And then we wake up one morning and we say, oh, nothing feels missing. We also recognize that you stop yearning for a different life and we live a life of meaning. So that is how do you recognize your purpose? So we've shown you now where you can do it absolutely free of charge on a do-it-yourself basis. You could take different approaches. You could take a book and work through the book. You could take our membership, and we, through that membership, through live, like this, live Q&A sessions, we take questions and we answer them as we did here today. We just used questions that peer research for us that people ask generally around this topic. Linde, and that's it from my side.
Okay, great. Thank you. And thank you to our viewers and whoever is watching the live replay. Again, if this message resonates with you, consider contributing in whichever way. And then thank you so much for joining us, and we would also love to hear from you. Give us some comments if you have any questions, even if you disagree with some of the things that we've shared here today. Please comment. We would love to hear from you. Okay, great. That's it. Thank you, Emmanuel.
Thank you, Linde. And thank you, Pierre. And yes, that's it. Thank you to all the viewers that popped in with the live streaming, and also those that would be watching our live replay.